Good afternoon, distinguished shareholders, investors, analysts, members of the investing community, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the board, management, and staff of Africa Prudential PLC, I warmly welcome you to our half-year financial performance and investor call 2026. My name is Cynthia Omono, Client Experience Manager at Africa Prudential PLC, and I have the pleasure of serving as your moderator for today's session. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to join us as we review our financial performance for the first half of 2026. We're also going to share key business highlights, discuss our strategic initiatives, provide you an opportunity for an open engagement through a question and answer session with our management, of course. Your continued confidence in Africa Prudential is great, and we look forward to a productive and insightful conversation today. Before we begin, I would like to quickly go over a few housekeeping guidelines to ensure that we have a smooth and productive session. For our speakers, kindly keep your microphones muted until you are called upon to speak. Questions should be submitted using the Zoom Q&A feature or the chat box throughout the presentation. We'll address as many questions as time permits during the Q&A session. We kindly ask everyone to remain respectful and professional with their questions. Please note that this call is being recorded for documentation and future reference. It is important to state that certain statements made during this call are forward-looking in nature, involving risk and uncertainties. These statements are based on our assumptions and projections, which may or may not materialize in the future. Therefore, it is possible for our actual performance to deviate from expectations. Neither Africa Prudential nor any associates of employee can be held responsible for the possible deviations. Thank you for your cooperation. Today's session is segmented into 4. We're going to be having the company overview and operating environment, which will be taken by our MD CEO. We would have the financial performance reports by our acting Chief Finance Officer. We would go over the corporate strategy for the second half of 2026. And we would also have the Q&A section afterwards. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite our MD CEO, Catherine Owosu, to deliver her keynote address. Catherine is the first female managing director, CEO of Africa Prudential PLC, the only as a leading technology-driven registrar and business solutions company. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our MD CEO, Catherine Owosu. MD, over to you, please. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world where you are joining from. Distinguished shareholders, investors, analysts, members of the investment community, esteemed members of the board, and everyone joining us virtually. On behalf of the board and management of Africa Prudential PLC, I warmly welcome you to our half-year 2026 investor call. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today and for your continued confidence in our company. We appreciate your unwavering support and the trust you continue to place in Africa Prudential. Your confidence has remained a strong source of motivation as we navigate an evolving business landscape while staying focused on creating sustainable value for all our stakeholders. The first half of 2026 has presented both opportunities and challenges within the operating environment. Despite these dynamics, we have remained committed to executing our strategic priorities, strengthening our digital capabilities, expanding our service offerings, enhancing operational efficiency, and delivering exceptional value to our clients and shareholders. Today's session provides an opportunity to share our financial performance for the first half of the year, discuss the key drivers of our results, provide updates on our strategic initiatives, and offer our outlook for the remainder of 2026. More importantly, it allows us to engage directly with you, answer your questions, and reinforce our commitment to transparency, accountability, and sound corporate governance. At Africa Prudential, we remain focused on building a future-ready organization that leverages technology, innovation, and operational excellence to create long-term sustainable growth. We are confident that our strategy positions us well to capitalize on emerging opportunities while remaining resilient in a rapidly changing business environment. Once again, thank you for joining us today and for your continued partnership, and I wish us all a productive and insightful session. Welcome.
Thank you very much, MD, for that beautiful keynote address. We would now hand over to you again to take us through the business context, give us an overview of our operating environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. I'll be speaking to us about Africa Prudential. Our overview. Our history as a company dates back as far back as 1970, when we started as a department of the Legacy United Bank for Africa PLC, UBA. In 2006, we were incorporated as UBA Registrars Limited. By 2013, a lot of things happened, positive changes. We changed the business name to Africa Prudential Registrars PLC. We became the first registrar firm, and today still the only listed registrar firm on Nigeria Exchange Limited. We opened an oversubscribed right issue for an additional 1 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. We acquired UAC Registrars Limited. Moving on to 2014, we recognized that the registrar business alone might not sustain us as an entity. And we decided to diversify into technology application development. And by 2016, we succeeded in developing our own core registrar business enterprise application. Today, we are using the version 2 of that particular application. In that same 2016, we changed our name and rebranded to Africa Prudential PLC. One will be wondering, why remove the registrar? Because we want to be a technology-driven registrar firm. In that same period, we announced our business diversification, venturing into digital technology. By 2019, we developed various solutions for the capital markets, the hospitality industry, the financial services industry, the cooperative sector, as well as other sectors. From 2020 to date, we have continued to use technology to drive innovation. We launched an in-house innovation lab, and by 2023, we graduated the first cohort of software developers with world-class software engineering skills. Today, they are functioning in different companies, both in Nigeria and outside the shores of Nigeria. We also drove capital market and other products and services offering through artificial intelligence, data enrichment, process optimization, and customer satisfaction. We are still doing all that till today. And what is our purpose statement? Our purpose is to pioneer the use of technology in share registry and business solutions, driving innovation and efficiency to support the growth and success of our clients in Africa. And our vision is to lead Africa in leveraging cutting-edge technology to deliver efficient, secure, and scalable share registry and business solutions, expanding our expertise into diverse markets across the continent. And our core values are execution, excellence, and enterprise. Our 50 years of dedicated impact, we have experienced a lot of traction in our business. We have 3 ISO certifications to our credit: quality management systems, business continuity management system, information security management system. Today, We have over 2.3 million shareholders supported on our platforms. We have paid dividend of over 82.2 billion in just first half of 2026. We are the first and only listed registrar company in Nigeria. We've settled transactions of over 2.33 million. Our shareholder fund is in excess of 12.5 billion. We paid legacy unclaimed dividend in excess of 590 million. We continue to drive the reduction of unclaimed dividend in the Nigerian capital market, supported by the regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission. Our market capitalization stands at 53.2 billion naira, and our share price is at 13 naira 30 kobo. We have also paid over 542,000 shareholders dividend within the first half year of 2026. And for KYC and account updates, clearinghouse number, email, phone numbers, and all that, we have done over 110,000 because we continue to update shareholders' data, knowing and recognizing that as many shareholders were able to reach, we'll continue to drive down the unclaimed dividend problem. We are very experienced in the capital market with over 60 equity registers managed, over 38 bond transactions in our records, over 16 mutual funds accounts being managed. We have handled over 15 right issues, over 9 private placements, more than 7 public offers, over 4 mergers and acquisitions. We handle foreign currency denominated transactions, including dollar fixed income fund and what have you. We are well experienced in this market. What are the key milestones we've achieved? I'm happy to announce that we surpassed the 2.5 billion naira minimum capital requirements as announced by the Securities and Exchange Commission in January this year, well ahead of the 2027 deadline. We have successfully diversified and scaled through our businesses. We have opened new product lines. Through disciplined execution of our diversification strategy, Africa Prudential delivered over 400% growth in new product lines and over 100% growth in e-products, demonstrating our ability to innovate, commercialize new solutions, and build sustainable revenue streams beyond our traditional registrar business. These achievements strengthen our long-term growth prospects and enhance the resilience of our earnings. Over the past 4 years, Africa Prudential achieved an average of 61% annual growth in profit before tax, underscoring our ability to consistently grow earnings, adapt to evolving market conditions, and execute our strategies effectively. This performance reinforces the company's strong financial fundamentals and commitment to sustainable value creation. Africa Prudential PLC grew her total assets to 46.52 billion in first half of 2026, driven by higher customer deposits, increased debt investment, and a strong liquidity position, with cash and cash equivalents more than doubled to 1.11 billion. This reflects our disciplined balance sheet management, and continued financial strength. In terms of payment of unclaimed dividend, we are championing this with the help of our regulator and other stakeholders within the capital market, having paid over 590 billion of legacy unclaimed dividend to date. Next slide, please. I talked about what we're doing in the digital space, and I'm happy to announce that in April this year, we launched a digital product called SabiVest. SabiVest is a digital platform that enables investors to track portfolios, monitor dividends and corporate actions, access investment opportunities, and manage shareholder services in one place. Today, we have over 80,000 active customers on SabiVest. We processed over 3.5 billion naira worth of right issues on SabiVest. A very interesting one is the community, very, very active and engaging community with over 30,000 participants. Through SabiVest, you can track your portfolio, manage your investment all in one place, track your dividends, your entitlement, and corporate action seamlessly. Access to deep market insights. That is a very, very interesting one, because through that, you know what are the opportunities in the capital market. Experts are available in the community to give guidance so that people don't go and invest in Ponzi schemes. Rather, they will have the capital market well regulated to invest in. SabiVest is a self-service platform for managing your requests, receiving updates, and engaging seamlessly online. You don't need to visit Africa Prudential Registrar's office just to ask questions about your shares. We have another bespoke product, the Africa Prudential Events Management Solutions. This is a digital product also available on SabiVest that is used to manage events, be it annual general meetings, be it extraordinary general meetings, be it professional meetings and votings. You can attend meetings from anywhere in the world. It is a multi-device accessibility, real-time meeting access, enhanced shareholder reach. The e-voting is real-time online. Secure vote authentication. The platform is very secured, and it has resolution management, instant vote collation, and result announcement. It also has live streaming facilities with very high quality resources that enable your meetings to be seamless. Today, through this particular platform, we've done over 1,000 virtual or hybrid meetings with over 5,000 video participants supported and over 100% digital accreditation and registration. APEMS is here to support meetings and other events. Another important milestone that we achieved is our digital product called GreenPo. GreenPo is the enterprise data management platform for capital market investors. It enables effective investment data management, easy and automated dividend processing and payment, secure clients and investor data. Security is very, very important. And because Africa Prudential built this application, as the need of investors arise, we tweak this application to suit security concerns. Today that we have data protection concerns, GreenPo has been enabled to ensure that investors' data are well protected. It has robust application that supports framework. You can work on GreenPo from anywhere across the world. We have other products such as the Know Your Customer product. We know that part of the problem that has engineered the unclaimed dividend is lack of data of the customers that subscribe to shares over the years. So this Know Your Customer product enables entities to validate the identity of their customers. This product is available for different industries. It's a service that we're providing to different industries, the banking industry, any industry that onboards customers. Our KYC customer service is available for you. We have the Premium Registrar solution that enables people to track their investment cross-board. We have the probate and transmission services that enables people that have lost their loved ones to ensure that these assets that your loved ones have are tracked and will help you to claim them seamlessly using partners that we already have within our system. Next slide, please. Stakeholder education and engagement is very, very key to us, and catching them young is something we are not overlooking. This year, we sponsored an educational and engagement program at the University of Lagos. The program is tagged TFS 5.0, where over 3,000 students were engaged, and it's aimed at strengthening youth brand visibility and strategic university partnership. You use that opportunity to tell them about the capital market so that they are the ones that will take over this market in the future. Part of what we are doing also is to engage the general public. Whenever there is a new initiative in the capital market, we do that through our Investor Podcast. We hosted the Investor Podcast educational series on simplifying share ownership. We launched internally to staff in Q2 with public release scheduled for Q3 to support investor education. We're partnering innovation. This picture here shows our head of strategy explaining new SEC dividend reforms, focusing on different aspects, educating people on what they need to know, and how to claim their dividend, as well as get information about the capital market. All work and no play, they say, make Jack a double. During the Africa Day on the 25th of May, we celebrated ourselves. We celebrated Africa culture. We celebrated Africa dishes and everything about Africa. Every Monday, we have our Monday drive with our different team members coming to speak to staff, motivating staff so that the week can be driven on a very, very strong note. That is something we are doing at Africa Prudential, and the employees are happy about it. When you do so many things and you're not rewarded, there is a question mark. Africa Prudential has received several recognitions and awards. Some of our business partners, like Imagine Africa, gave us an award for outstanding business partner. I was also recognized by the Nairametrics as one of the top 10 women CEOs leading Nigeria's most profitable listed companies in Nigeria. We also received several awards. Africa Prudential was selected as one of the top picks for the week by Premium Times newspaper. So the recognition goes on and on and on. Next slide, please. We are led by a distinguished members of the board with diverse experience across different sectors. Our chairman is Mrs. Christabel Onyejekwe, my humble self, the MD CEO, Catherine Wosu, Mrs. Zubaida Rashid, an independent non-executive director, Mr. Chidi Okpala, a non-executive director, Mr. Oluwaseyi Abe, an independent non-executive director, and Mr. Vincent Uko, a non-executive director. We also have a team of dynamic management. These are people that are baking the cake today in Africa Prudential. Thank you so much, team, for the wonderful work you're doing. Next slide, please. I will now hand over. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
Just speaking briefly about the global outlook. This slide here shows that the GDP rate is dropping across the world. Look at US, look at Germany, and several other companies. The GDP growth rate is dropping. We have the statistics here for 2024, 2025, and 2026, as well as the projection for 2027. If you also look at the inflation rate is increasing across the world, all because of the geopolitical tension, the uncertainties, and all that we're having. Next slide, please. Growth remains resilient across sub-Saharan Africa, but rising energy costs are driving increasing divergence. This snapshot shows some African countries with South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. The xenophobic activities in South Africa actually affected growth in South Africa. If you look at the GDP, is at 1.1%. Their inflation rate is at 4.2%. It has increased. There is weak demand because a lot of people are living in South Africa. So the demand for energy is actually reducing. If you look at Nigeria, GDP growth rate is at 3.89%, while that of Ghana is at 4.5%. Inflation has been reducing in Nigeria and is currently at 15.91%. Next slide, please. This is a snapshot of Nigeria's economy, the GDP growth rate, the inflation rate, the dollar exchange rate. All these records are at June 30, 2026. Next slide, please. The capital markets have been very bullish with all the parameters very, very positive and increasing significantly. So the capital market is where to be. Continue to trust this market and invest in it. Next slide, please. A lot of innovative activities happened in the market within the half year under review. The capital market adopted the T+1 settlement cycle, which means that when you buy shares, by the next day, the trade settles and the registrar will update. And then whatever benefit that the company declares will be yours. NGX All Share Index also crossed the 200,000 points. There is Strong rise in media brands driving financial inclusion and awareness. This is championed by Nairametrics and Izikoko. We also have rapid growth in retail investor participation in Nigerian capital market. Do not be left behind. Next slide, please. I will now call on my colleague, Omolayo Akindemowo, our acting CFO, to speak to us on the numbers. Omolayo, please.
Okay, thank you, MD, for that. So my name is Omolayo Akindemowo, and I work with African Prudential PLC as the acting chief financial officer, and I'll be taking us through the numbers.
Omolayo, please.
All right, we apologize for the break in transmission. Omolayo is currently experiencing some network fluctuations, and we're trying to get her back on the call. I think she's back on right now. So Omolayo will take us through our financial performance for the second half or the first half of 2026, and then what is really driving our numbers. So Omolayo, are you back on the call?
Yes, apologies.
That's fine. Welcome back. Welcome back. You can go ahead with your presentation now. Thank you. Yes.
So as I was speaking before the network interrupted, our operating expenses also witnessed a growth of 35% from 1.34 billion in H1 2025 to 1.8 billion in H1 2026. And our profit before tax also grew in the same manner by 22% from 1.98 billion in H1 2025 to 2.41 billion in H1 2026. Our profit after tax also witnessed a growth of 18% from 1.35 billion in 1.59 billion H1 2026. And our 2025 to our total assets grew by 13%. In H1 2025, we stood at 14.35 billion, but in H1 2026, we are currently at 46.53 billion. And our shareholders' funds grew by 13% from 11.05 billion in H1 2025 to 12.52 billion in H1 2026. Our earnings per share also witnessed an 18% growth from 0.34 kobo in 2025 to 40 kobo in H1 2026. In summary, this position shows our business resilience as African Prudential PLC, and for H2 2026, we remain committed to ensuring that we deliver sustainable growth in our existing revenue and our emerging product line while maintaining a disciplined cost management. Thank you, MD. I'll be handing over to you to continue your presentation.
Thank you very much, Omolayo, for that presentation. Next slide, please. I'll be speaking to our strategic pillars. We have 5 strong strategic pillars, and the first one is on delivering sustainable business growth through core registrar and new business line. We are driving sustainable revenue and profitability by strengthening our core registrar business while expanding high growth technology-enabled businesses. The second one is accelerating product and service innovation, leveraging technology. We are developing innovative digital products and enhanced services delivery through technology, automation, and customer-centric solutions. Strengthening Africa Prudential brand equity and market leadership. We're enhancing our brand visibility, customer trust, and market positioning to reinforce our leadership in the capital market ecosystem. The fourth pillar is investing in talent development and organizational capability. We are building a high-performing workforce through leadership development, capability building, employee engagement, and a culture of innovation. The fifth pillar is deepening corporate governance and institutional excellence. We understand that you cannot do anything or succeed in business without strong corporate governance. So we are strengthening our corporate governance, risk management framework, compliance, operational excellence to ensure sustainable long-term value creation. What are we expecting in H2 2026? Deepening our leadership in the registrar and investor services space. We'll continue to reinforce our position as a trusted partner of choice for issuers and investors across Nigeria capital market ecosystem. Digital adoption is so critical. We'll continue to drive the update of digital products and technology-enabled solutions that simplify the investor experience and improve operational efficiency. Revenue streams must be expanded. We'll continue to grow new income lines through innovation and strategic partnership that complements our core registrar business. Risk management and cost discipline is very critical to us. We'll maintain cost discipline while investing purposely in people, technology infrastructure, and cybersecurity capabilities. Governance, compliance, and shareholder value is at the helm of what we do. We'll continue to strengthen governance, compliance, and resilience. We'll continue to deliver sustainable value through payment of dividends to our shareholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MD, for outlining the company's strategic priorities and growth outlook for the second half of the year. And a very big thank you to our acting CFO for providing us the numbers and what is really driving us and how we intend to achieve the budget for the other part of the year. We have now heard comprehensive presentations on the operating environment, our half-year 2026 financial performance, and the strategic initiatives that will guide Africa Prudential's continued growth and value creation. We will now move over to the Q&A section, which will provide an opportunity for our shareholders, stakeholders, and investors the opportunity to engage directly with our management. You can ask questions, seek clarification based on the presentations you've heard so far, or about anything that you have concerns with. If you have not done so already, kindly submit your questions in the Q&A box just at the bottom of your screen using the Q&A feature. We will take as many questions as possible, and we'll direct them to the appropriate speakers, of course. Like I said, we'll do our possible best to accommodate questions within the available time. So we will now begin. So the first question right here in our Q&A box is from Tunde Adebayo from Lagos Island. And it says, "Good afternoon, management, and thank you for taking my question. Congratulations on your half-year results. Revenue grew by about 27%. What really drove that growth? And do you think we can expect the same momentum in the second half of the year?" I would like the CFO to answer this one because I think it's finance related. So CFO, over to you, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tunde, for your question. Yes, our H1 performance, it was driven mainly by our strong core registrar income, our increased corporate actions activities, our improved investment income, which was supported by our interest rate environment, and our growing traction across our technology-enabled solution. While some market-related expenses or activities may moderate in H2, we believe our diversified revenue model, our strong client relationship, and our continued execution would enable us to provide healthy and sustainable growth across the business. Thank you.
Thank you for that response, Omolayo. The next question is from Sarah Williams 001. And this one says, thank you for your presentations. I noticed that operating expenses increased faster than revenue. Could you help us understand what drove that increase? And should investors expect costs to remain at this level? CFO, I think this one concerns you too. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Certainly, yes, we had a higher operating cost increase compared to our revenue growth. And this reflects our deliberate investment in our technology infrastructure, our cyber security, our digital platform, our product development, our talent, our regulatory compliance, and our business development. And this investment, it supports our long-term business growth. And as the investment matures and they generate higher return, we expect operating leverage to mature. We expect operating leverage to improve and expense growth to moderate relative to revenue. So as soon as we begin to get more revenue, generate more revenue on all our income line, our costs will go down appropriately. Thank you for that, Cynthia.
Thank you, Omolayo. That was beautifully answered. Next question is from Michael Brown, and he calls himself the analyst. So this question says, a significant portion of your earnings appear to come from interest income. If interest rates begins to decline, how do you expect that to affect the company's earnings? I'll direct this to our MD to address. MD, please. Thanks.
Thank you very much for that question. And this is a question that we at every management meeting ask ourselves. No doubt, interest rates influence our treasury income, but that is precisely why we are deliberately diversifying our revenue streams. Our strategy is to grow recurring fees and other businesses, such as digital solutions, KYC services, bespoke AGM technology application, the probate services, our Sabiverse platform, and all others. Over time, this should reduce our reliance on interest income and we'll be cruising and create a more balanced earning mix for Africa Prudential PLC. So we're working seriously to make sure that interest rate, whether it goes up and down, won't be a challenge to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD, for providing that clarity. So just a follow-up on the interest income. I think this one relates to that. It says, how sensitive is Africa Prudential's business to changes in interest rates? But I'd love the acting CFO to provide a response to this.
Okay, thank you for that, Cynthia. Yes, we are aware, yes, interest rates movements. It affects our treasury income. But our treasury income is only just one aspect of our total earnings. And as our registrar, technology, and our service-based business continue to grow, our earnings will become more diversified, as has been mentioned by the CEO. We are beginning to grow all our business product line, our KYC, our probate. And as the business begins to expand and grow, we'll become less reliant and dependent on interest rates movements. Thank you.
Thank you, Omolayo, for your response. This next question is from Juliet, and she says, do you expect your share price to go up, and what do you predict it will reach? I'd like the MD to answer this one.
Thank you very much, Juliet. Yes, as a business manager, I expect my share price to continue to rise. And I'm very, very optimistic that very soon you see our share price in 20 Naira, 30 Naira, and above. Yeah, because as the content company continues to do well, the market will react and respond positively by ensuring that they buy our shares. Thank you, Juliet.
Thank you for addressing that question, MD. This next question is from Abdullahi. It says, kindly provide us with the audited financial statements and what are the likelihood on the next year projects to the new shareholders? CFO, acting CFO, please.
Okay, so for the provision of our financial statement, this will be sent to you. And as it has been earlier stated, our projections, we expect the business to continue to grow and scale as we begin to get more traction from our new product line. And with that, we expect we'll be able to continue to meet up with our expectations and expand beyond our planned capabilities in African Prudential PLC. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, CFO, for that detailed explanation. Our next question is from Emily Carter. And she says, there has been a lot of activity around the banking recapitalization exercise. Has Africa Prudential already captured most of those opportunities, or is there still more business expected from that program? I'd like the MD to address this.
Thank you for this question, Emily. You know, it's a recapitalization period. The banking sector has concluded theirs, the insurance industry, and then the capital markets operators are also recapitalizing. And we've already participated in several major transactions, but we believe there are still opportunities ahead. Some institutions are still completing their recapitalization exercise, while others may undertake additional corporate actions. Beyond capitalization, we also see opportunities from even the broader growth in capital market activities. So Africa Prudential is positioned to ensure that every opportunity that comes around, we take it up. Thank you.
Thank you, MD. I believe that provides useful context for our stakeholders and shareholders. The next question is from chidex.okk@gmail.com. Thank you for your question. It says, good afternoon. Profit grew, but not as fast as revenue. Can management explain what affected profitability during the period? I'd like this acting CFO to address this.
Okay, thank you, Chidex, for your question. Your observation is a very good one. Yes, the difference was mainly due to our higher investment in our technology, our people, and our business expansion, which increased our operating costs during the period. But despite this investment, we still delivered healthy profits and maintained strong margin, demonstrating the resilience of the business, showing that African Prudential will continue to go above to sustain our business and our income line. Thank you.
Challenge. Maybe I can take that question. Olai, are you back?
Yes, I am. I answered. I don't know.
Yes,
did you
please
get
go
that?
over your response. I think
Okay.
your network froze. Yes, thank you.
Oh, sorry about that. So thank you, Chidex, for your question. Thank you. And that's a very good observation from your end. And our difference was mainly due to higher investment in our technology, in our people, and our business expansion. And this increased our operating costs in this period. But despite this investment made by African Prudential PLC, we still delivered a healthy profits growth, and we maintained strong margins, demonstrating the resilience of our business, showing that despite our cost, our business will continue to grow and position ourselves for the next level. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Malayo, for providing that financial insight. Our next question here is from James Robinson. He calls himself an equity research analyst. This question says, management spoke about SabiVest during the presentation. Can you give us an update on how the platform is performing? Are customers actively using it? And when do you expect it to contribute meaningfully to earnings? I'd like our MD to address this. Thank you, MD.
Thank you very much, James. And the conversation concerning SabiVest is one that I'm very, very happy to enter into and then to educate the investing public. SabiVest remains one of our strategic priorities. Following its relaunch in April, our focus has been on improving the customer experience, increasing user adoption, and strengthening partnerships. Its current revenue contribution remains modest, but we believe the platform has significant long-term potential as adoption and monetization increases. Today, we have over 80,000 people on SabiVest, coming to SabiVest to do various things. Yes, some of the things they still do now is free of charge, but gradually we are monetizing the services on SabiVest. So SabiVest will, at a point, become the major revenue contributor to Africa Prudential, while giving shareholders and other stakeholders bespoke service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. That was a valuable insight. Our next question here is from King Davik. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. And this one says, the revenue doesn't seem much to cover for the expenses. What really drove those expenses up? So I'd like the acting CFO to address this.
Thank you for your question. Yes, the operating expenses grew higher than the revenue. But as we had earlier spoken about this is as a result of our investment in our people, our technology, our business development, and our product. And despite this growth, our business still sustained, delivered a healthy profit, showing that we maintained a strong profit and will continue to deliver value to the shareholders as a whole and to our business partners and our management as a whole, showing that despite all these costs, our business would, over time, our investment from all these new products will be able to moderate our costs, and very soon we'll be able to get minimal costs in relation to revenue. Thank you.
Thank you for that additional context. Our next question here is from Abdullahi. Abdullahi asked a question earlier on the audited financial statement, but there's an additional question from him. And this one says, what are the likely opportunities you are making way to key in since you operate more in Lagos than the other regions? I hope I got that correctly. What are the likely opportunities you are making to key in since you operate more in Lagos than the other regions? I'd like the MD to answer this one.
All right. Thank you very much, Abdullahi. Africa Prudential is not only in Lagos. We have a branch in Port Harcourt, which covers the South, and Southwest region and Southeast region. We have a branch in Abuja, which covers Abuja and the Northern region. And Africa Prudential is a technology-driven company. So wherever we are, we're able to attend to your request. The Abuja branch handles all activities, just like the Lagos office. The same thing with Port Harcourt office. So, and you can reach us through our email, through our chatbot, through our WhatsApp. That is very, very engaging. So wherever any customer is, Africa Prudential is available to attend to you. Go to our website. Very, very engaging. And you'll get whatever information that you want to get. Thank you, Abdullahi.
Thank you for that detailed explanation, MD. This next question is from Funke Adeyemi. And she says, you mentioned products like Greenpole, KYC, and Probate. For those of us who may not fully understand them, how do these products generate revenue for the company? MD, please. This one's to you.
Okay, so KYC is a corporate product. We engage companies that onboard customers, just like the banks, and they require the onboarding documents of these customers to be validated. So we have a technology-driven application that will help us validate the identity of the people that are coming in. So, and they pay us per every item, every document that we validated. Now, for the probate services, we all know that when people lose their loved ones, they need support in trying to gather the assets and resources. It is not done at free. It is not a free service. So we'll help them gather these assets, also help them ensure that the shares are transferred to them so that they can take up every benefit that is associated with that. We also have the Greenpole. I mentioned that the Greenpole is a data management enterprise application. Africa Prudential is using it. We've also sold the application to some other customers. Any entity that manages data can use Greenpole. And we have created it in such a way that Africa Prudential does not see your data. Everything is containerized and is protected. So Greenpole is available for every data management entity. You have the Sabiverse, which is a one-stop shop, a marketplace for investment and investment decisions. We are working on having so many partners on Sabiverse so that when you come to Sabiverse, you can buy different kinds of products. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. Our next question still has to do with our digital solutions. And this one is from Sheyi Ogunleye. And it says, competition seems to be increasing, especially from technology companies. What makes Africa Prudential different? And why should customers continue to choose services? I'd like the MD to answer this one.
All right, Sheyi. Thank you very much. One thing I've come to realize about competition is that competition makes you better. When you don't have a competitor, you'll be operating at a very low level. But when you have competitors, it puts you on your toes. You continue to innovate. So our key differentiator is the combination of more than 5 decades of industry experience, our deep regulatory knowledge, our trusted client relationship, our continuous investment in technology. As Nigeria's only listed registrar, we also operate with strong transparency, governance, accountability, while delivering innovative digital solutions. So we'll continue to innovate, we'll continue to look at the problems in the environment, and we'll keep creating a solution to these problems so that competition, we are never afraid of competition. We'll continue to move forward while competition comes behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you. The next question is from King David, and it says, does Africa Prudential have clients outside Nigeria or provide services outside the shores of Nigeria? If they don't have, why? And does Africa Prudential seek partnership outside Nigeria? MD, over to you, please.
All right, thank you very much. Currently, Africa Prudential is still in Nigeria only. And that's principally because of the kind of regulation you have across the world. Most countries have their own regulation. They expect the entities that are operating within their jurisdiction to be registered and licensed within their jurisdiction. So going outside the shores of Nigeria is something that is on the pipeline. And very soon, you'll begin to hear what Africa Prudential is doing. We're looking at several partners that we want to work with. And between now and the next 1 year, you will see where we'll be. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, MD. So this next one is from Victor. It says, can I have the recording? I am busy at work. Definitely, Victor. Our communications team will be sending the recorded audio of the session to every attendee. So you'll definitely get it in your email after this session. Michael says, thank you for the good job you're doing at Africa Prudential. Thank you, Michael, for your comment. We appreciate it. Samuel says, very insightful report and session from Africa Prudential. Thank you, Dr. Catherine Omolayo, our moderator. Thank you. We see you, Samuel. Thanks for your comment. I would like to ask, what are the company's key priorities for the second half of the year? I'm sure the MD has addressed it. MD, would you like to throw more context on that?
Okay, so let me still say that technology, innovation, product and service offering. SabiVest is a platform that is going to house several products. So in the second half, we'll be making a lot of products available. We're also doing a lot of customer engagement, because if you have a lot of products and services and people don't know about them, they will not take advantage of those products. So we'll have a lot of engagement. We'll ensure that we are protected, that our applications are protected, because the people that are hacking and doing all that, they are not resting. So we'll continue to improve on our corporate governance and strengthen our compliance across board. We'll grow our revenue lines across our business lines. I talked about the KYC, the probate. These are businesses that we started newly. In H1, they earn revenue for us. By H2, they are going to earn more revenue for us. And we'll continue to strengthen our position in the registrar space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD. Our next question is from Ahmed Musa. And I think it has to do with the dividend, but I'll just go ahead to ask. It says the company has continued to build a strong balance sheet. How do you intend to deploy that capital? Should shareholders expect more investments, acquisitions, or higher dividend? MD, I don't know if you want to throw more light on that.
Yes, so everything you have mentioned are options that are on the table. Acquisitions and other, they are all options on the table. And as management, as we review these options, any option that we see that it will be viable, we will take it to our board. And if it is the one that requires shareholders' approval, we'll go to our shareholders to get the approval. The important thing is that for the last 3 years, or thereabout, Africa Prudential has continued to pay both interim and final dividends, and we will continue to reward our investors and all those that are trusting us. Thank you.
Thank you, MD. This next question is from Risky Tessie. And it says, what do you see as the biggest risk to achieving your targets for the second half of the year?
Risky. Thank you very much for this question. The biggest risk to us achieving our target, I will mention the global economic uncertainties, because if you look at today, how much are we buying fuel? The cost has increased, and as a business, it increases our cost as well. So the global economic uncertainties are part of the risk. The interest rate movement that can go high, go low, thank goodness is still a bit stable. As we see, the slower than expected capital market activity. This is holiday period. People are traveling for vacation and all that. These things affect activity. Regulatory developments and broader macroeconomic volatility. However, our diversified business models, strong balance sheets, and disciplined risk management framework position us well to manage these uncertainties. Cost management is at the heart of what we do. And with technology over time, your average cost will actually reduce. So we'll continue to manage our costs to be profitable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD. The next question here is from Chief Blessing Okafor. And it says, as shareholders, what are the key things we should be looking out for the next 6 months to know whether the company is on track?
Thank you very much, Chief Blessing Okafor. Nice to read from you. Africa Prudential is a listed company. Every quarter, we come to the public to tell you what we are doing. So you have the opportunity of seeing what we're doing. So shareholders should monitor revenue and profit growth, the contribution of fee-based income, the customer acquisition, the digital product adoption, the corporate action mandates, the operating efficiency, the strategic partnership, and the increasing contributions of our diversified business lines. These are all you should look out for in H2 2026. Thank you very much, Cynthia.
Thank you. Thank you, MD. So there was a question we took from Samuel, and he says, oh, beautifully said. Thank you, MD. SabiVest appears to resonate strongly with Gen Z and millennials, which I believe will drive greater adoption among young investors and expand the platform's user base. I don't know if that's a comment or a question, but I think that has to do with SabiVest and then the adoption by Gen Z and millennials. So yes, the platform is actually for everyone, Gen Z, millennials, but I don't know if the MD wants to throw more light on that.
Okay, thank you very much, Samuel. And I would love you to onboard yourself on SabiVest so that you see what Gen Zs and the millennials are doing. They are learning a lot. They are learning a lot. The investor education that is going on SabiVest is massive. So please onboard and share in the sweet experience that this class of people are having. And interestingly, the older generation, the baby boomers and the elders are also interested in what is going on in SabiVest. I'll tell you, if you look at the customer base of SabiVest, you see that it cuts across every age bracket. So SabiVest is here for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MD. We appreciate all the questions you've been receiving so far. Thank you for your engagement and active participation. But in the interest of time, we'll take one final question before concluding today's session. And that question is from Chief Blessing Okafor. It says, as shareholders, Dr. Peterson, I beg your pardon. It says, thank you for taking my question. If you could leave shareholders with one key message today, what should we remain confident in Africa Prudential's long-term growth story? MD, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Peterson. After over 50 years of our existence, Africa Prudential has consistently demonstrated our ability to evolve with the market. We began as a trusted registrar that transforming into a technology-enabled capital market infrastructure and digital solutions company. We have a strong balance sheet. We have an experienced management team. We have the wonderful and diversified board members, clear strategic priorities, and a proven ability to execute. As Nigeria's capital market continues to deepen and modernize, Africa Prudential is well positioned to deliver sustainable long-term value for our shareholders. We'll continue to engage you. We'll continue to provide products and services that will solve problems that we find in our environment. The unclaimed dividend is one problem that we are supporting the Securities and Exchange Commission to drive the reduction. We had investor forum last week here in Lagos, championed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. They have also planned to move around the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and Africa Prudential is partnering with them, going about engaging shareholders to make sure that we reduce unclaimed dividend to the barest minimum. Continue to invest in the capital market, because the market is the market that gives you the kind of returns that you may not experience elsewhere. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, MD. Thank you for that wonderful response. And that concludes our question and answer session. We sincerely appreciate your insightful questions, your thoughtful contribution, the commendation we've received so far, and your continued interest in Africa Prudential PLC. Your engagement and feedback are invaluable to us, and we remain committed to maintaining open, transparent, and timely communication with all our stakeholders. As we bring today's investors call to a close, I'd like to thank our MD, especially Catherine Owosu, and our Acting Finance Officer, Omolayo Akindemowo, for their insightful presentations. We got a lot of questions, and we were unable to take them because of time constraints. But if we're unable to address your question, we're assured that our Investors Relations team will review all the questions and respond where appropriate after this call. As always, we encourage you to stay connected with us through our Investors Relations channel. You can send an email to us at investorsrelations@africaprudential.com. investorsrelations@africaprudential.com. You can also access our financial reports, corporate announcements, investors presentation, and other relevant updates. Thank you once again for joining us on this call and your continued confidence in Africa Prudential. It is my honor to invite the MD CEO to give us a closing remark. MD, please.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. And for all our audience, I say a very big thank you for your insightful questions, thoughtful contributions, and active participation in today's investor call. On behalf of the board and management of Africa Prudential PLC, I sincerely appreciate the time you have taken to engage with us. Your continued interest in our business and your valuable feedback reaffirms the importance of maintaining open, transparent, and meaningful communication with our stakeholders. As we shared today, our H1 2026 performance reflects the resilience of our business model, the dedication of our people, and the effectiveness of our strategic focus. While we remain mindful of the evolving macroeconomic landscape, we're optimistic about the opportunities ahead and confident in our ability to sustain growth through innovation, operational excellence, and disciplined execution. We remain committed to strengthening our leadership in the registrar industry, expanding our digital solutions, deepening customer relationships, and creating long-term value for our shareholders. Our focus remains on delivering sustainable performance while maintaining the highest standards of corporate governance and stakeholder engagement. We greatly value your continued trust and support, and we look forward to keeping you updated on our programs as we execute our strategic pillars for the remainder of the year. If there are any additional questions that have not been addressed, as mentioned by the moderator, we will address them. The Investor Relations team will be pleased to engage further and send the answers to you afterwards. Thank you once again for joining us today and for your continued confidence in Africa Prudential PLC. We wish you a pleasant day ahead, and we look forward to speaking with you again during our next investor engagement. Please continue to stay with Africa Prudential. Thank you very much. God bless.